The 2025 Qatar Motorcycle Grand Prix is done and dusted, and boy, we have a lot to talk about because surely this is the most interesting races in the first 4 rounds that we have in the championship this season. Thailand was exciting, but it wasn't that exciting because Mark, Alex and Pecco, the 3 of them, they just released at the front. Even Pecco couldn't really keep up near the end of the end stages of the race. Well, Argentine is no different story, just the 2 Marquez brothers out in front. Americas, well, I never remember Austin being a really exciting Grand Prix unless something really weird happened, like the weather condition or anything of some sort. But usually the Grand Prix of the Americas, just 1 rider released at the front and that's it. Finish. Now coming to the Qatar Grand Prix, lots of overtaking. A lot of the group was a bit bigger compared to the previous 3 Grand Prix, and let's just get into it then. Let's face it, Mark was greedy. He was greedy last week in Austin, or 2 weeks ago, not last week. He was greedy. He knew that he had the pace. He knew that he had everything under control. Yet he just went more and more and more, faster lap after faster lap after faster lap, and then down he went. This time he got his lesson learned. Such a perfectly managed race from the 32-year-old Spaniard. Race pace management, you can see it from his body language. Despite the contact, the initial contact at turn 1 with his little brother Alex, he didn't budge. He didn't budge. It didn't let his guard down. Still doing his own race at a magic management, if I do say so myself. Like the tire management, the whole thing. He was just so patient, calm, and then in the last quarter of the race, like 5 or 6 laps to go, he was being a beast. Fastest lap after fastest lap after fastest lap. It was like a late time attack. It was like a consecutive Q2 lap, the last 5 laps, making him an untouchable fastest lap overall. I think he has learned his lesson, but we don't know yet. Maybe it's due to the circumstances as well, because we know that the Lusail International Circuit is a high deck circuit with the sand as well, with the wind. Yes, it was held at night, but we can't ignore the fact that it is still in the middle of a desert. The temperature is really high and it eats up the rubber, the tires. And now he's completed it. 4 first rounds, 4 pole positions, 4 fastest laps. Unfortunately, it's not 4 victories because he crashed in Austin. But anyway, this is like literally 2019 Mark. I wasn't wrong when I said that in the very first commentary video about Mark. Tech 3 KTM, a satellite KTM. Who would have thought that a satellite KTM can fight at the front with Vinales, with Maverick? Maverick was on the verge of being the first ever rider in the history of the Grand Prix motorcycle racing to be able to win with 4 different manufacturers. He has won with Suzuki, only 1 race in Silverstone 2016. He has won multiple races with Yamaha, like 7 or 8 victories. I think it's 8. 3 in 2017, 1 in 2018, 2 in 2019, 1 also in 2020, and then the last one in 2021, the Qatar Grand Prix in 2021. He won 1 race with Aprilia last year, Austin. Qatar, he was on the verge of winning in the 4th manufacturer, KTM. KTM this season has been suffering a lot of high tire deck. That bike just doesn't work at all, especially the 2025 spec, the one that Acosta and Brad ride. But the Tech 3 KTM, it ride the 2024 spec of the RC16, and it's not really that severely damaging the tire. We can see that Acosta last year, he was able to grab some podiums here and there, and then some faster lap, even a pole position in Motegi. Brad Binder also was fairly consistent last year. That bike has the capability to be able to fight for the top spot. But we know that the Tech 3 lineup is an all-new lineup with Enea and Maverick. They really need to readapt their riding style to the new bike. Maverick riding the Aprilia for 3 seasons, 22, 23, 24. Enea, he was riding Ducati since the very first time he arrived in the Premier class. Always a Ducati for him. And now he needs to readapt his riding style with the KTM as well. And that's actually a reasonable argument as to why none of the Factory KTM been fighting for the top spots. But in Qatar, we saw Maverick doing just that. But unfortunately, the brilliant ride, the brilliant podium got ruined by the most hated rules by fans. This is from the first time I see a winglet on a bike, on a MotoGP bike, on the fairing. I thought to myself, this is going to ruin the races. Yes, it's going to make the bike not really doing wheelie that much, but at the end of the day, it creates downforce. With downforce, it means the tire degradation is going to be really high, just like in F1 with all wings here, wings there, front wing, rear wing, blah blah blah, the diffuser, the flexi wing. It's just not suitable for two-wheel racing. But MotoGP implemented them anyway. It was banned for a while. Winglets are banned, says the regulation back in, I think it was either 2017 or 18. But then manufacturers, they always have something up their sleeve. They read the regulation and it says that winglets are no longer allowed. And they created what? Aero fairing. So it's not a winglet, it's not like something that you can plug in onto the fairing. It's not part of the fairing itself. It's just like one material shaping the fairing itself. So I don't know, maybe the regulators of the MotoGP, they're kind of running out of ideas now on how to ban this aero shit, which is ruining races honestly for the past 5 or 6 years. This is the aero impact, and Maverick, he got the penalty because again the tire pressure is breaching the amount of pressure regulated or allowed by the regulators. I've never and I will never be a fan of aero in MotoGP. Bikes look really ugly. It's just not really a two-wheel thing. I really hope the 2027 rule is going to limit a lot on these aero things. I got involved in a heated argument, not really heated, but it was a really strong argument between me and my debate opponent. So we were talking about, was it fair for Alex to only serve one long lap penalty, a single long lap penalty instead of a double? In my opinion, in my stance, it's not fair at all. Like, the stewards messed up big time. And this is sort of thing that I hate about the regulation, the wording of the regulations in regards of the long lap penalty. It says that irresponsible riding, penalty at discretion of FIM MotoGP stewards panel. It's a really ambiguous wording. It creates something, it's an absolute recipe for being some sort of a rubber clause. You know what rubber clause mean, right? It is a regulation that can be interpreted in so many ways. It's really vaguely worded. The long lap penalty being worded as such, it makes the long lap penalty, the single long lap penalty that Alex served, it's just unfair. He clearly collided into Digia. Digia got demoted to the last spot, P22 out of 22 riders. Meanwhile, Alex, after the collision, he was still fairly in the P7, P8, the lower P10s, okay? And then with just one long lap penalty, Alex was still in P13. P13. He worked his way all the way up to P7 and then got promoted to P6 after Maverick's penalty. The point is, it's not apple to apple, you know. The impact on Digia after he got crashed into by Alex, he was running in P22 and he needs to work his way up the order. He lost contact, he got no slipstream because Somkiat was a few seconds ahead of him and he was in P22. He needs to really push hard to get one slipstream from Somkiat, and then up he went to P21. But then he needs to again push to the one in P20 to get another slipstream to work his way up in the order again. In the end, Digia didn't score any point, while Alex finishing he crossed the line in P7, up 6 positions. It's just not fair, mate. It should have been a double long lap penalty at the very least. It would put Alex really at the back of the pack in P22, maybe even in the same position as DJ, and only then would it be fair, in my opinion. But again, the stewards, it's just a really rubber clause. I mean, just look at again at the wording: irresponsible riding, and it's at the discretion of the stewards panel. What if the stewards got some favoritism here? Favoritism towards one rider? Maybe. We can't really judge how clean they are, right? We don't even know what's the qualification of being a stewards panel. So it's just ridiculous, to be honest. It's another silent weekend for Pecco Bagnaia. Just average pace, nothing too quick, nothing, but not too slow as well, but nothing really special, nothing really stands out, just like last year where he won the Qatar Grand Prix, starting fifth, then he won. This time he started P11 due to a single costly mistake in Q2. He was on a hot lap in Q2, but then he crashed out at turn 4. Well, he did limit the damage because he managed a P3 on the line, but then promoted to P2 after Mavericks again penalty. But it's just so silent for Pecco. It's just nothing really interesting happening for the double world champion. Well, of course, one of the more interesting battle was his battle with Frankie for P2 or P3. I don't really remember anymore, because honestly it's just not as interesting as the whole Maverick thing leading the way with KTM. But yeah, well, coming next to Jerez, we know that Jerez is Pecco's happy hunting ground, and let's see if he can make it 4 in a row. Johan Zarco again piggybacking the whole HRC squad. It begs the question: should HRC sign Johan instead of the current lineup? I mean, the current lineup is by no means bad. Like, Johan is a 2020 MotoGP World Champion. He is a former World Champion, and Luca Marini is a solid point scorer. He rarely crashes. He rarely make any mistake. With Johan's performance now, shouldn't it be him? Like, imagine this: is it even possible for HRC to do a Red Bull style swap with the satellite team, with the LCR, swapping Johan with maybe either Johan or Luca? In my opinion, it should be Johan getting demoted to the LCR, because Johan is being a crash king so far this season. 3 retirements in the I'm talking about the main race, by the way. 3 retirements out of 4 races. The only time he crosses the line was in Argentina, a P9, but then it's just always a retirement. But one positive thing though from Johan was that he was running inside the top 10 when he crashed, except for Qatar. He was running in like the lower, outside of points. I don't know if MotoGP like specifically prohibited teams to do like a Red Bull style swap, but in my opinion, HRC, if they really want to save their face from humiliation, I think they really should swap either Johan or Luca with Johan. Johan is doing such a tremendous job right now on board that LCR Honda. P4. Well, it was after he got promoted after Mavericks penalty. He crossed the line in P5. It was very solid for HRC. The last time HRC finishing inside the top 5 was like, what, 2023? Yeah, I think, yeah, it is 2023. Motegi. After that, never had a Honda rider crosses the line inside the top 5. Mark's podium in Motegi 2 years ago, that was the last time a Honda rider finished inside the top 5. So Johan is doing such an absolutely, I know, I'm lost for words. It's beyond great, it's beyond perfect, it's beyond tremendous. We see the other Honda. Well, Luca is consistently finishing inside the top 10, especially in the last 3 races, P10, P8 and another P10. But Johan kept crashing, and then Somkiat, well, despite him being a rookie, I don't really think that's a really good reason nowadays not to score any points, especially coming already 4 Grand Prix under your belt. 4 Grand Prix meaning 8 races nowadays, because we have the sprints as well. Again, sprints are rubbish. That Honda bike isn't really as difficult anymore as the last 2 seasons. It is a rideable bike now. As a matter of fact, Johan is the best non-Ducati rider in the championship right now. So, statistics speaks for itself. Just I always say, this is something I've never ever imagined 10-12 years ago. Let's face it, when Mark was in Repsol Honda along with Dani Pedrosa, one of the most formidable lineups of all time, never ever had the LCR nor the Gresini Honda back then able to beat the factory Honda. It was like there was just this limitation that made them unable to fight with the factory Honda. It's just like they were not allowed. It's as if they were not allowed to be fighting with the factory Honda. Just leave the factory Honda be, just leave them alone until the new regulation in the 2016, which homologates the ECU, and then and only then the LCR Honda was able to fight with the factory Honda. Carl winning in Czech Republic in 2016, and then followed by Phillip Island in 2016 as well. But in 2016 Phillip Island, it wasn't that Carl winning on merit. It was because Mark crashed out from the lead. So Carl automatically inheriting the lead. Termas de Rio Hondo, Carl winning again on the LCR Honda. So now the LCR Honda, like, consistently on a constant basis beating the factory HRC. This is just something I've never dreamed of 10-12 years ago. It's just one of the more exciting Grand Prix that we've had so far this season. I hope Jerez will deliver another spectacular race. I'm really looking forward to see Pecco making it 4 in a row in Jerez. But let's not forget, it is Mark's backyard, it is Mark's territory. Even last year on board the GP23, Mark was able to make Pecco sweat a bit. Not a bit, like he sweat a lot, I think, inside that helmet. Because Mark was also on pole. Let's just not forget that fact. Last year in Jerez, Mark was on pole, on board the GP23. Now he's with the factory GP25. Will it be 5 out of 5 pole position, 5 fastest laps out of 5 Grand Prix, and 4 wins out of 5 Grand Prix for Marc Marquez in the upcoming Grand Prix? Who knows? But again, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and we can have an uncivilized discussion. I'm really looking forward to do some savage discussion. Like and subscribe for more, and until we meet again.